when I start to experiment with the logo, you might be happy with it, but it's fun to practice and experiment around and come up with some different variations for you to show you and present to your client. So I'm just going to copy this across. I'm going to start to use this. So first up, I'll start playing around with color. So maybe you want, and I'll start making copies of it. What if it was all yellow? What if we had white? And you can see that I'll make it smaller, see what it's going to look like. Maybe, what if it was all purple? So you can see there. And then I'll start to test the logo by itself. And maybe I'll press P for the pen tool, just play around. Just gonna make a triangle. And then I'll use the shape builder tool just to minus that off. So you can see, maybe you want to multiply that. So when you start to just play around, but also think about what you're doing, about your ideas. Maybe I want this more perfect, purple. And see how it looks like. It's also good to work in white. And then we'll just do a drop of gray. See how that's gonna look like. So very quickly we can start to see different variations, and then you can present it like that. So what if our client liked it in a color version, and then obviously if you saved it, you won't just have this one version. You'll start to save out like a black and white, a colored version, just the icon itself. What if the logo mark was within a circle as well? So I'll just copy this. What if it was within a space? And I'll bring that to the front there. So what if it was like that? Would it work? If I extended it, how would that look? So you start to ask yourself questions and start to see how it can be used. Like even that's pretty cool. But as well as you want to make sure that you're keeping it consistent with the brand and with the brief. So you can start to see I'm leveraging that negative space. So you can see, but just by using the opposite, it comes out in a nice way. And then I'll start to lay it over some other colors as well. So it's good to see how I'm placing the logo on a dark background to see the contrast. You also want to test it on a lighter background as well. So, it's good to test it on white. So I'll just drag a box there and I'll just lock that. And then maybe test it. And maybe I'm just going to use that dark purple because it's close to black. Or you can use black if you want to test it. But I'll use a dark purple. I'll change this. So you can see that kind of looks good. And I'll test it like this. And you can see the yellow is a bit too bright. And you can see that because spacing looks different. When you have black, the space looks more closed in and compact. But with white, there's a lot of white space. It can look like it's, too out of there. And it's not cohesive. And there's too much breathing room. So maybe you would have to bring that up, as you can see there. And I'll start to play around with the horizontal versions. Like there's so many options you can do. I'm just, going through this quickly. As you can see there. And another cool thing as well, a cool trick is that I'll make a copy of the letter. Just ungroup that. And you want to have some spacing. So I'm just making copies here. So this is a rule we're making, that the space around this logo has to be the size of the S. So you can see if I'm putting it here, it's too close, right? And this is some things you start putting into brand guides, but I won't go into that detail. But you can see there, you know, we're making a limit there. So think about there's an imaginary S's there. So that means I'm not going to put anything within this bounds. So I'm just going to make a box. So you can see the box there. Obviously, there's going to be one here too. So you can see this box. We're not going to put anything within these bounds. So the logo has space, breathing space. As you can see there. So that's a cool trick you do, and it's a cool principle to use. So we're never going to have issues with legibility and messing up the inconsistency with the logo mark. So yeah, we got that. So we can see how it works in horizontal. You know, test it with the other color as well. Maybe we don't want that. Maybe we want it this way, as you can see there. So already we've just gone through heaps of variations that we can actually test and see if it's going to work. And then what we'll do is put it into a context so you can do a mock-up and test it out. And then when you present it to your client, you can make it look nice and then show them how it's going to work within that context. So just by playing around, you know, playing around with color, with shading, with tone, with spacing, negative space, test it in different versions, horizontal, vertical, and just experiment, and you can come up with some nice designs that's going to help you visualize the logo in multiple cases and how the client would use it. And yeah, it's really going to benefit you and show you that you're a professional.